Hello, welcome to my channel, RasPipKr Tutorials. I'm Martin Parker, and in this video I'm going to be taking this NVMe case out of its box and installing a Raspberry Pi 5 with an NVMe base from Pimoroni. Let's have a look at the box. It's an aluminium enclosure, 95 by 60 by 37mm. On the side we have the contents, NVMe case top, the base, bolts for mounting, power button nubbin for the power button on the Raspberry Pi, and then it's got some soft feet. This can be used with or without a Pimoroni NVMe base or the NVMe Duo board, and is compatible with the official Raspberry Pi cooler, which is good because I've got that on top of my Raspberry Pi 5. I've got the graphite black colour. I bought this out of my own money and I'll be doing my review of it, how easy it is to put in, and yeah, just a general review. My thoughts will be my own. This costs roughly about £15 plus shipping, which totaled about £18 in total. I've just recently got it. I've not seen any videos unboxing one and doing any fitting, so I thought I would do one. Let's take it out of the box. Here we've got the bolt kit. So inside there we've got various standoffs, some washers and some long bolts and some short screws and some sticky feet that will go on the bottom of the case. Just pop that to the side. Take the item out of its box, which is in a bag. That's where your power button goes, and you'll see your little LED light for power on, your power and your HDMI sockets, and over on this side you've got your Ethernet, USB ports. There is a gap, so if you're using a ribbon cable going onto the GPIOs, I guess you will be able to feed out of there. There's a slot there for if you're using a camera or a display. Take the top off. Decent quality, quite tough, doesn't feel like it's cheaply made. It's got some thickness to it. It's a good 3mm, I'd say. So it's quite, I can't squeeze it together, it's not flimsy. Same for the top. The top seems slightly thinner, but yeah, it don't move. No, it's pretty solid, very good. Right, let's get it set out and get the Pi in there. Inside the kit bag, we get a small plastic power button, a set of 4 rubber feet, 5 small washers, and they are to compensate if you're not using the Pimoroni NVMe base or the Duo base. You would only need 4 anyhow, but you get 5 so you get 1 spare. Same for the small screws. We're going to use 4 of them for the top of the case. 4 tall standoffs, 4 smaller standoffs, and 5 longer screws. We're only going to be using 4 of these, but it's always good to have a spare. There is an instruction guide on how to do this on the Pimoroni website, but I'm going to do it without looking. I've got my Raspberry Pi without its standoffs, so I've taken them off, but I've kept the PCIe cable in place And what I'm going to first do is take a small standoff and a long screw, and this may seem weird, but I'm going to poke it downwards, and there's a reason for this, and this is going to give me that gap that you're going to need, just a few turns to bridge the gap in between. So I'm going to do the same with the other side. Drop the screw in. Hold the screw. Just a few turns, and that has now given me the right sort of height of what I'm going to be working with. So I'll take the base, I'll put the base in, laying it down flat. Now the base has a silk screen on it, so it's not going to short any parts out. I'm going to angle the base slightly so that I can get the pie in with a similar angle, so you're not risking getting the parts in between. And now if I just hold it down with my finger, you've roughly got the pie in the correct position. So now what I'll do is I'll take another screw, hold that screw, poke it through using my finger just to line it up. As you might be able to see, or might not, that screw is now going into that standoff underneath. And I'll do that again with the other screw. Same idea, hold the screw in place, poke that through, and just a few little turns. The screws go into these standoffs really nicely. So now that they're in place, I'm going to take these top screws out. And what I'll do is I'll grab my screwdriver to do that. Right, so I'll hold the pie, press reverse on my electric screwdriver, and that's now released. Put that to the side. Same again, I'm just going to undo that one. There we go, that's released. Take that out of the way. And now we've got our standoffs, which are quite awkward to hold in the correct position. So what I'll do now is I'm going to put these screws in so that they go through the actual PCB of the Raspberry Pi. So just with a little bit of pressure on the top of the Pi, only slightly, because you don't want to over tighten this anyhow. There, slight difference in the sound. Same with this one. And if we look there, we can just see that the screw is poked through, just there. Do this one, so I'll just hold the fan case and screw this screw in. There we go. That's gone through the Pi hole. Just see it there. Okay, so that's in place. Now what I'll do is I need to put the two remaining standoffs into these two gaps here. So for this, I'll use some pliers. So I'm going to grab some, don't need to be very long nose pliers, but something just to hold the standoff. I'm going to put the pie this way around because I'm right-handed, so I'll use my screwdriver with that hand, and I'm just holding the standoff and just pushing it slightly against the board, getting it in between, put the screw into the hole. There we go. Got a few turns and now I can let go. I'll try and get this next one on a better angle. Hopefully you'll be able to see it if you didn't catch it. So I'll grab the standoff. I'm going to put it underneath the board. In roughly the correct gap, offer the screw into the hole. Just a couple of turns, and then I can put the pliers down. Right, now, just to make things easier, I'm just going to press down on the board slightly. Not on any major components, it's just on the heat cooling system, just to hold that standoff in position. And there it's gone through. You don't need to have a lot of torque set for that. Same again for this bottom one. As soon as it starts to turn the standoff on the inside, you don't want too much pressure, so that will be perfectly fine. And then we're ready for putting the next standoffs on inside. Let's put the larger standoffs in position. So I'm just going to pop that on. Just only has a few turns available, so I'm just going to do that by finger. And this one here. Just enough room to get in with your fingers. Notice how the other standoff is slightly spinning. So what we can do there is grab our screwdriver and there we go. They're nicely tightened up now, but not too tight because you don't want too much pressure against the multi-layer PCBs. See? Put the back two in. And we'll do the same procedure with these two back ones. So hold the end with my finger and my screwdriver. There we go, that's nipped up. And the last one, that one's spot on. And there we go, we've got our pie in its case, ready for the top plate. Right, let's grab our top. Now we need to put our power button on the inside. Notice how there's a big bit and then it goes narrow. The narrow part is what goes outside, so you need to put it into that hole. Like so. Now obviously that's just going to drop out, or maybe not. I was lucky. I was expecting it to fall out. If it does, then keep it tilted up and pop your pie towards it. But it's being kind to me. And there we go. Just turn it around and let's make sure that the button does work. Can you hear the click? Cool, I can hear the click. That's in the correct position. Everything's good. So now all we have to do is pop the 4 screws on these 2 4 holes. Because it is metal screws, I don't always use an electric screwdriver, but if you are using an electric screwdriver, it's always good to make sure you don't cross thread it. So I always do it a couple of turns, and then I know it's not going to cause an issue. Let's grab my screwdriver. Done. And there we go. That case is now complete. Almost. Because we need some feet. And that wasn't meant to rhyme. But there we go. So here we have the 4 rubber feet. If I bend it slightly, you'll see the shapes. So I'm just going to take a foot and I'm going to put it close to the screw, just on the inside, like so. And the other one, oh, I've got a little bit of tape stuck to that one. There we go. Put it somewhere close. I'm happy with that. Press down. Now these 2 for the other end, I'm not going to put on the inside of the screw area like there, because you're going to put pressure over here. So I'm going to put this one about there, and this last one down here. Okay, a little press down, and there we go. We've got our feet and the case is complete. And I'm rhyming again. So these washers are only used if you're not having a Pimoroni base in there. We've got our spare screw, because it's a small screw, we don't want to lose it, and our longest screw. Okay, so as you can see, we've got good access to the HDMI and USB ports, power button, Ethernet and USB ports. Overall, I think the case is very solid. It's definitely solid. It's not going to go anywhere, and with them feet, it's doesn't really want to move. It's I quite like it. Right, let's power up the Pi and see how much of a difference this makes. So I'll just grab my power lead. This isn't an official power supply. Got the red light showing. It's turned green. Can you see the fan? Just see into that gap. It's just spun up and it's just stopped. That's pretty much how my Pi boots. It does a couple of little blows and then that stops. Unless I'm doing something very labour intensive. But that doesn't seem any louder. So let's get the desktop on and see how it differs. I'll just power it down safely. And that will now have shut down. If you're thinking, will it affect your Wi-Fi? Now, there's my signal strength currently. And over here, if I click here, I've got a video that I recorded on the 25th of April. And that signal strength there looks exactly the same as that signal strength there. There will be a slight difference, but as you can see from there, it's very, very minimal. Okay, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.